So, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to episode number 26 of our Sunderland career mode. And we are going to be kicking off this episode with a massive derby game at home at the Stadium of Light up against Newcastle. But the only problem is we are having to put out our second team lineup. So we're going with a back line of Jones, Kirchhoff, Kabul and Henry. Just in front of him, sitting in front of the defenders, will be Reece Oxford. And then we've got a line of three that is formed by Jeremy Lenz, Sanchez and Kamana. Then we've got a top two of Ambrose and the veteran Jermaine Defoe. So this is a really important game that means a lot to Sunderland fans. I'm going to do my very best to try and get us to win it. So we've got a really good chance here from the free kick. We're going to give the ball to Jermaine Defoe. We're going to get him to strike it. Can he get it up and over around the wall? He does, but it goes into the side netting. Very unfortunate for the veteran English striker there, but he was very close to opening the deadlock. And you've got to be kidding me. What are we doing? What are we doing with Yunus Kabul? We give the ball away. It was a lovely save from Jack Butland to start off with to deny Kevin Gamero. It's actually Kirchhoff. Kirchhoff tries to play the ball out from the back, gives the ball straight to Newcastle's number 37. Jack Butland can't keep that one out. And Remy Cabella scores the goal that puts Newcastle 1-0 up at the Stadium of Light up against their arch rivals. We've got to be doing a lot better than that. It's actually Kevin Gamero. We squeeze the ball through to Jermaine Defoe. Jermaine Defoe is up against Mbemba. Cuts back inside with a fake roll. Plays the ball back to Reece Oxford. Oxford to Renato Sanchez. Renato Sanchez through to Billy Jones. Billy Jones goes for goal. I don't know what Billy Jones was doing in that sort of situation, but he pulls off a tremendous save from Tim Krul. First time shot. And what a save by Tim Krul. Renato Sanchez through to Jermaine Defoe. Defoe's through one-on-one. And Jermaine Defoe has found the back of the net. You can bag your money on Jermaine Defoe hitting the back of the net in a one-on-one situation. And that is the reason why I play him when I can, because I do know when he has a slight chance on goal, he will find. It's a lovely weighted ball through to him by Renato Sanchez, the young 18-year-old midfielder, and Jermaine Defoe expertly slots the ball into the top-hand corner. Krul can't keep that one out, and we're back on level terms. We squeeze the ball through to Renato Sanchez here. Sanchez over the top to Jermaine Defoe. It's a good ball. Defoe goes for the strike. And this time Krul does match it with a good save. And after being 1-0 down, it looks like we could come back now to 2-1 in front. And we've done it. Lenz fires the ball in at close range. We get really lucky with the deflection. We play the ball back inside to Thierry Ambrose. Ambrose goes for the strike, gets a big deflection. It goes up in the air to Lenz. Lenz strikes it first time. Tim Krul gets beaten at his near post. He wouldn't be wanting to see that one again, but it's a wonderful strike from Lenz with his weaker foot. And Tim Krul, he wouldn't be very happy with that, but I'm not complaining. We've come back from 1-0 down to be leading the game by 2-1. Lovely chance for Newcastle. They strike it, and their shot goes inches over the bar. Cabella's strike, I thought, was going to be finding its rustling in the back of the net, but we get let off the hook. Cabella gets too much power on it. Jack Butland at full stretch does well to put him off, but we're somehow still leading the game. Newcastle have a really good chance. They squeeze the ball through to Papi Cisse, and Papi Cisse has had the best chance of the game for Newcastle, and he squanders it. We've got to be grateful there that it was the chance fell to Papi Cisse and not to Kevin Gamero, because the form Kevin Gamero's in, he probably would have found the back of the net. So the final whistle goes, and we managed to come back from 1 goal down to win the game 2-1. Jeremy Lenz, my man of the match, he played fantastic in that game. He also scored a fantastic goal as well, which Tim Krul wouldn't be very happy about letting in. But just looking at them stats, we truly deserve the victory. We had more shots on target, we had more shots in total, and we even had more possession, which is very, very rare for a player like me. But that was a game that I really wanted to win, basically for you guys, because I do know how important it is to beat Newcastle. But we have got some player training for you guys here. Lennon and Sanchez now both on the player training. Sanchez should in theory go up to the next rating, which of course he does do. Sanchez now a 62 rating and Lennon getting closer now to a 67. So we've now got the second game of the episode, which is going to be in the round of 16 up against Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. So it's going to be a really difficult game, but the good news is we've got our full strength squad back. But then just in 3 days' time, we are going to be playing Manchester City again in the league. So we're hoping to pick up at least a victory in either one of them two games, preferably, I think, the FA Cup. So having a look at Manchester City's lineup, they've got probably one of their strongest lineups out, apart from Joe Hart and Aguero on the bench. But they've got Kevin De Bruyne, Nasri, Navas, they've got Mangala, Kolarov, Yaya Toure. So they've got a very, very strong lineup. But I think with our star strikers, Correa and Dybala up top, we're going to cause them all sorts of problems. A lovely chance, we play the ball through to Angel Correa. Correa's going to beat everyone for pace. He's one-on-one Willy Caballero. He goes for the strike, but his shot can only go straight at Willy, and Willy has a pretty routine save, and he'll be happy with that if all of our shots are going to come straight at him. But Paulo Dybala's won the ball back here. Paulo is going to try and squeeze the ball through to Angel. We play it through to Felipe Anderson. And Felipe Anderson's strike had plenty of curve on it, and it looked like for a minute that might have been curling into the far corner. It was a lovely ball through. It was actually standing in offside position, unfortunately. I was actually aiming the pass for Angel Correa, but Felipe Anderson, that was very, very close. A lovely ball through to Matheus Pereira. Pereira is through, one-on-one Willy Caballero. Can we find the far corner? Yes, we can. Matheus Pereira, you can bet your money on he will bag the goal for you. And our number 7, Matheus Pereira, trying his best to keep Kamana out the side, and boy is he doing that. Angel Correa with an inch perfect ball through to him. No one can possibly catch up with him, and he closes in on Willy. Willy Caballero decides not to come out and stay put on his line. He tries his best to prevent the ball, as does Zabaleta, trying to cover the far post, but Matheus Pereira slots the ball into the top hand corner, and we lead 1-0 at the Etihad Stadium. We squeeze the ball through to Paulo Dybala. Dybala is closing through on goal, cuts back inside past Facey, and Paulo Dybala goes for goal, but it's a wonderful block from the Manchester City centre-backs, and if it wasn't for that, we would have doubled our lead. Paulo Dybala's got a lovely chance here. He's closing through on goal, squeezing the ball through to Angel Correa. Correa goes for the strike first time, and Angel Correa has done it once again. Paulo Dybala and Correa linking up together like they've done so many times throughout the season, and this time Correa is the goal scorer, but Dybala is the goal provider. We could have played the ball to the far post to Matheus Pereira, who was completely unmarked, but we decided to play it to his strike partner, and what a strike, first time, curling it in at the near post. Willy Caballero, absolutely no chance, and that should be game, set and match. Pereira and Correa picking up the goals, Dybala an absolute magician, and we have done it. It looks like we have knocked Manchester City out the cup. We've got a lovely chance here. Correa this time squeezing the ball through to Paulo Dybala. Dybala tries the strike, and it's a good save by Willy Caballero, and he gets up just in the nick of time to deny Matheus Pereira's second goal of the game, because otherwise Pereira would have had a simple tap in at the far post, but Correa trying to pretty much repay the bills back to him. We've got another good chance here. Matheus Pereira going for goal, and Matheus Pereira finding the back of the net. And to be honest, when we first brought this guy, we were doubting him. We didn't think he was that good. He was failing to hit the target. He had a few good chances early on in the season, and he kept missing them, but we had faith in him. We kept on playing him. A lovely 1-2 with Correa, and wow, what a finish into the bottom corner. Very composed. He could have tried to smash it, but no. He side-foots the ball into the back of the net and wraps up a very, very promising professional performance by us. 3-0 at the Etihad Stadium against Man City. That is a phenomenal result. So who would have thought when we come into this game that we would have completely annihilated Manchester City in the second half? The first half, nothing much happened, but in the second half, boy did we turn on the gas. We completely dominated, and we might not have had better possession stats, but we definitely were more clinical when attacking. Angel Correa is man of the match, as he picked up an 8.8 rating, but also you can see by the other ratings by everyone else, we played really well. Paulo Dybala 7.6, Pereira an 8, Felipe Anderson 7.5. I just thought we had a very, very solid performance. So now we're going to move into the third and final game of the episode, which is going to be, once again, away from home at the Etihad Stadium up against Manchester City. And we're going to be pretty much playing out exactly the same lineup, apart from Reece Oxford is going to be placing Tielemans at the CDM position, basically because Tielemans' fitness is not the best at this moment in time. Even though Pereira's isn't the best, I want to play him again against City, because as he completely terrorised them in the previous game, I think City, the last thing we want to do is drop him for this game. He might only be able to last the first half, but that might be good enough, because if he could pick up a goal in the first half, that would definitely be good enough for us. So having a look at the league table, Manchester City have currently got a 10-point advantage over us. They've currently got 28 points. We've currently got 18. So in the league, they are a lot better than us. So not considering their best or their game that we just played against them, we beat them 3-0, and they've also got the best defensive record in the league as well. We've only conceded 7 goals. We've only conceded 8. So in theory, there shouldn't be a lot of goals. But then when we beat them 3-0 in the previous episode, their defending was shambolic. But having a look at their starting lineup, they have got a pretty different side out now. They've got Willy Caballero, they've got Denaya at the CDM, they've got Sterling, they've got Manu Garcia, and they've got Muller. So they haven't got the strongest lineup. So they've got Joe Hart, Aguero, and Pogba on the bench, and Vincent Kompany as well. So we've got a pretty strong line out. They've got a not so strong line out. So in theory, we should, considering we've just beaten them, be able to go on and pick up all 3 points here. We've got a good chance with Matheus Pereira. Pereira's going to cut back inside on his left foot. You can see Manchester City are not very happy when Pereira's got the ball. There was straight away 5 players around him, but he squeezed the ball back to Dele Alli. But Raheem Sterling reads the pass and he can carry the ball out and launch a attack for them. But they lose the ball once again. And City look very nervous in the opening stage of the game. Felipe Anderson on the ball is going all the way, squeeze the ball through to Dele Alli. Dele Alli goes for the strike, and it's a lovely block from the Manchester City centre-back to deny probably our opening goal, because Dele Alli in them sort of situations is very dangerous. But we got a chance from the corner kick here. We're going to squeeze the ball back to Dele Alli. Dele Alli's got, we're going to have faith in him to take on Raheem Sterling. And, well, that faith doesn't really seem to pay off because he lose the ball very cheaply. And that could really cost us now as Muller plays the ball out wide to Sterling. Sterling is going to try and beat Matheus Pereira for pace. But he's not going to be able to because Matheus Pereira is in insane form. Raheem Sterling with a lovely chance. Raheem Sterling surely going to find the back of the net. He's not, because Jack Butland, his international teammate, pulls off a delightful save to deny Raheem Sterling. And, well, Butland this time getting the best over the two. Paulo Dybala on the ball. A good chance for Paulo here. Paulo actually a little bit disappointing that he hasn't scored in this episode, but he keeps on going on his left boot, goes for goal, and Jason Denayer with a wonderful block. And yeah, that is normally a thing that we wouldn't be saying. Paulo Dybala, I think, since we brought him in, has scored in every single episode, apart from this one. So, a little bit of a letdown, to be honest. No, not really. He's just been in inspired form. He set up a few goals in the previous game as well, so we cannot complain, not even a little bit about him, because he's just a magical player. We've got a good chance here with Angel Correa. Correa through to Dybala, and they were completely on the different wavelength, which is very unusual for them two. So we got some really bad news here. Hector Bellerin has gone down and he's got to be taken off. So very bad news. And we haven't actually got a centre-back on the pitch. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to put Duncan Watmore at right back. We're going to bring on Lenz can come on for Felipe Anderson and Pereira can come off for Camano. So we're going to bring on 3 new players. One that we didn't really want to bring on, but Duncan Watmore's going to have to do a good job for the final 10 minutes at right back. But we've got a lovely chance here. We squeeze the ball through to Camano. Camano's just come on the pitch. Camano back to Dybala. Dybala one-on-one with Willy Caballero. And just as I was saying that Paulo Dybala has not scored in this episode, he goes ahead and scores the goal for us. So as soon as we take on Hector Bellerin, we go on the counter-attack. Dybala through to Camano. Camano very unselfishly cuts the ball back to Dybala. Dybala goes for the strike, and boy does he find the back of the net right into the top hand corner. We had all the faith in the world. We could have squared the ball. We could have been sweaty, but no. Paulo Dybala took the responsibility on his shoulders and he found the back of the net. And Manchester City 0, Sunderland 1. But City with a really good chance. They're going to find the back of the net. And they do. You've got to be kidding me. Just as we took the lead, Zuccolini for them goes ahead. And just about 2 minutes later, gets themselves back on level terms. Reece Oxford, very poor from him, losing the ball. Jack Butland, should you be saving this? It was very close to his body. I thought Jack Butland should be saving that. It was very close to him. Come on, Jack, you've got to be doing better than that. Have Angel Correa here, has got the ball to Camano. Camano trying to squeeze the ball back inside, and Camano's lost the ball, and that could be proved really costly now because they play the ball through to Thomas Muller. Muller's up against Van Aanholt. Van Aanholt is quicker than him, but they play the ball to the far post. There's no one there, and that is it. The referee blows his full-time whistle, and, well, very disappointing to be honest, after taking the lead, and then Man City coming back and tagging us back to level terms. A little bit disappointed with Jack, but I suppose winning one and drawing one isn't that bad, and the referee should blow the final whistle now as there's just 2 minutes remaining. So, of course, the final whistle does go. Jack Butland, according to the game, does get man of the match. But to be honest, I'm not going to give the man of the match to Jack Butland. I am going to go ahead and give it to Paulo Dybala. I thought he played very well in that game. He scored a goal for us as well. A little disappointing considering we did have... I thought we played better than Manchester City overall. Jack Butland did make a really good save in the game. But then the goal they scored, I think he could have done a little bit better at preventing it from hitting the back of the net. But once again, a little bit disappointing. After taking the lead so late on and then coming back to getting tagged back to level terms, very disappointing. But Hector Bellerin also has suffered a broken elbow. Is going to be out for 2 months. So that means, do we put in Reece Oxford at centre back and move either Jones or Vertonghen out wide, or do we take the risk and play Jones? It's going to be a big risk. We're going to have to think about it, and I will be letting you know in the next episode what we are going to do, because 2 months is a hell of a long time in game. But that is in fact going to be it for this episode of Career Mode. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to hit the like button down below, as it is going to be very much appreciated. And I am sorry that I haven't been uploading recently for the past 2 days. It's because I have sprained the ligaments in my knee, and also I have been very ill. So sorry about that, guys, but I will be trying to get up to a normal routine once again. But that is going to be it for the episode. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.